Hey guys, so thanks for tuning into this rather special episode of Exploring the Southwest. Due to the sensitive nature of this content in this video, I won't be giving out the exact location of these ruins. However, I hope you all enjoy this rather lengthy video of one of my favorite mountain fortresses that I've been to. I'm really happy to share with you all what I can. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff, please consider subscribing to this channel. I regularly post adventure videos, including rockhounding and some lapidary how-to videos. If you have any constructive suggestions or places you'd love to see explored, be sure to leave a comment. Alright, on with this adventure. Well, it's always a good way to begin any trek with some very rugged foothills. As with all heritage sites, ruins, and unexplored findings, treat everything you find with the utmost respect. Take nothing and leave it just as you found it. These sites are incredibly special and wonderful. So much to learn from, admire, love, and study. Things that have lasted for hundreds of years can last for many more with careful preservation so that generations to come can continue to enjoy these beautiful places. Quite a large variety of flora fauna out here. Just when I thought I had seen all my desert plants, there was something new around the next brushy corner to greet me. I made it up onto this first ridge. The wind here began to pick up pretty well. There were several signs of habitation on this ridge, several pit house remnants, and a few scattered pottery sherds throughout the area. The views here were starting to get quite incredible. What a beautiful area. I had to take a moment to reflect, as a rush of echoes from the distant past could surely be felt around here. I imagined it must have been well groomed by those living here, and began to wonder what amazing stories these saguaros could tell me. Truly amazing as I stood here in awe. Check this saguaro out. Isn't he the craziest looking one ever? Boy, he's sure got a lot of personality, doesn't he? Oh, I love finding things like this. That is one cool looking saguaro. Well, just a few more ridges to conquer before I'm where I need to be. Trekking through some of the thickest brush, rocky steep slopes, some jumping cactus at every turn, and snake-infested rock sides were just to name a few. Those mighty saguaros to greet you along the way, motivating you to press onward to reach the top. Alright, I finally made it up to this fortress. This is definitely one of the more crazier hikes that I've ever been on to try and figure out just how to get up to this mountain. But wow, I've got all these really cool ruins to explore right now. This is the map I drew up after studying the ruins. All the rooms I was able to sketch up were all nearest the cliffside. Surrounding the settlement was a very large wall structure, creating a perimeter around the main rooms. There were just 3 openings to allow access to the main ruins that I was able to find. 2 on the south end and 1 on the north. This particular site has the perfect requirements for a defensive fortress. Not all archaeologists agree, however, with the idea that these ruins were a fortress. My personal opinion is that this place served as a defensive compound during turbulent times, perhaps. Here in this photo, you can see a good stretch of the main wall that begins to wrap around the mountaintop. To further my conclusion of this being a mountaintop fortress was the massive fortified wall that surrounds the entire perimeter of the ruins. Many of the neighboring sites that I've visited have no such walls like this. Parts of the wall's foundation were still well intact. This is truly impressive. Perhaps when needed, the many nearby small communities in the area fled up to the top of this mountain to take refuge. Just who were the people that inhabited this great fortress? Studies indicate that it was the Hohokam that lived in these mountains during the classical period. While their neighboring relatives worked the lands to the south that makes up much of the Phoenix area and the lands even further south, the people that lived in this area, this rugged terrain, they surely had it rough. Archaeologists who have studied this site have dated the ruins to be inhabited from 1100 all the way to 1250 AD. That's about 150 years of this site being inhabited. During its brief history, the fort consisted of a total of 19 rooms. It's believed to have only consisted of 10 rooms for the first 25 years of its existence, growing in number to a whopping 19 rooms at its pinnacle. The last 25 years of its usage, the fort was reduced to 17 rooms, before the site is believed to have been abandoned by its inhabitants. Pottery sherd findings in the area revealed only Verde Brown and Wingfield Plain pottery, and a few very rare redwares. But not a single decorative sherd was found in the area. I began to imagine how lugging heavy pottery up and down this mountain would have been quite a task. The usage of fragile decorative pots seemed a little excessive to me. Or perhaps archaeologists from their last studies have vacuumed up any proof of such decorative pottery. Public access for such information is restricted in my search for those answers. However, there was a certain plenty of evidence of utility-used pottery sherds scattered all about. There must have been quite a number of accidental moments with all the sherd trails around. Traversing up and down to get water from all the nearby springs must have been really tough. It really made me wonder where the clay sources in this area could have been. Perhaps someday, further exploration of the area would possibly yield a source of good clay. Interestingly, some of the sherds I observed in the area were tempered mainly with sand, but some notably phyllite as well. Could there be some phyllite in the area, I wondered, or was it just imported in? Stuff like this was one of the main sources of my inspiration for learning how to make primitive pottery. I imagine these were part of some very beautiful vessels at one time. Or they could just be some discards from firings gone wrong. Or perhaps something else. The imagination can run completely wild here. Wow, what a wild view from here too. I could see the neighboring mountaintop fortresses nearby, everything within sight. If there was indeed hostile activity in the area, it would not only be easy to see it approaching, but it would be simple to signal others off in the distant hills of approaching trouble. I left feeling quite blessed to be able to gaze in awe at the amazing structures. What can we learn from this? What other discoveries can be made from future research? The amazing legacy of the beautiful people that lived in this rugged, arid environment, truly incredible. I was left with a great numerous unanswered questions than when I had arrived. Well, till next time, guys.